Hi guys, thanks for joining me. This video is on the full moon in Sagittarius, which happens on the 29th of May 2018 at 19 minutes past 3 in the afternoon, and that's based on UK time. Now, a full moon is when the moon reaches its monthly completion point. It's 180 degrees away from the sun, and it's fully illuminated, it's totally round, and it really showers us with its energy. So the tides are higher, we feel affected by it because we're made of water mostly, and the full moon and the new moons really do have an effect on us. The new moon often fills people with a sense of, I want to do something new, I want to start something fresh. And the full moon is this major energy boost that comes in, and it's usually fills people with loads of energy that they need to then channel into something. And that's why a lot of people sometimes have problems sleeping during a full moon, because they're not able to channel all that energy and dump it in some way, so they hang on to it, and then it causes problems with sleep. Now, this full moon is so positive and wonderful. I'm really looking forward to it. First of all, we have a sun at 8 degrees in Gemini, which is lovely because the sun in Gemini is optimistic, it's witty, it's fun, it's articulate, it's communicative, it's interested in new things, it's open-minded, it's not prejudiced, it likes to talk, it likes to receive information, it's willing to try new things, it's adventurous, it's powerful at 8 degrees, and it's your identity. So you feel like life has opportunities and chances. There is light at the end of the tunnel. You're not in, even if you suffer with depression or anxiety, this kind of astrological energy will mitigate that sense of depression, and it will bring you, it will either lighten the depression or it will really help lift it, because it gives you this emotional ability to see a future, to see light at the end of the tunnel, to give you hope again. So it's a beautiful sun. It then illuminates that full moon, and the full moon is at 8 degrees in Sag. So the full moon at 8 degrees is extremely powerful. Sagittarius is a centaur. So he's half horse, 4 legs of a horse and the body of a horse, and the torso and head of a man. So he's half beast, half man. So already there's a wild, uncontrollable energy associated with it, because it's very animalistic, and combined with the intellect of a human being, centaurs are amazing because they can really set goals and then gallop and achieve those goals very, very quickly. They're great explorers because of the speed they've got. And that applies in a physical, practical sense. So Sagittarians are often great explorers and great learners, and as a result, great teachers, because they pick up on a lot of information. But they can also explore in an abstract sense, so exploring the higher realms of knowledge. So Sagittarius is often interested in meditation and finding a way to increase that inner flame that's always there, that confidence and self-belief that's always burning within a Sagittarius, by opening up to the spiritual side of life and connecting and forming relationships with your higher power or your guardian angels or whoever you work with, the ascended masters. It gives you a sense of connection, even more power, and you're able to kind of gallop there and reach that. And it gives you a sense of belonging, even if you're alone in a different city. On a practical sense, on an emotional sense, it's going to feel like an adventure. It feels like you're perfectly held in the hand of the universe, the creator. Nothing bad can happen to you. And it's the best time to make changes, because Sagittarius has a bow and arrow, remember? And the arrow is always pointed at something. So centaurs are always going somewhere. It's always on to the next thing, on to the next thing. So if you've been really, really stuck in your life, let's say you've been in a job that's so dull and the money is good and you've tolerated it because the money is good and it's reliable and you've just done it that way. But you've thought about leaving, but you never were able to do it because you come home and you're too tired to apply for new jobs and go for interviews and all of that. This full moon is going to give you the personal drive and energy to break through and to do something that actually serves you. So situations that no longer serve you, that you got into for a particular reason, so for convenience or security or financial income, any sort of reasons, that initially benefit you, when they stop benefiting you, when you don't get anything out of that situation anymore, it's important to move, to let go of that situation. And earth signs are very bad at that, like Tauruses and Virgos and Capricorns. They're not great at extraditing themselves out of those kind of situations, but Sagittarius is good at it. So we have a Sagittarius full moon that helps you to really gallop out of a situation that you haven't had the strength to leave. And some situations are so difficult, it's like Velcro or sticky tape. You have to rip yourself out of those. Like if you're in a relationship with someone for the money, and I'm not judging, I'm just being real, okay? So if you're someone who's in a relationship and you have no skills or anything, and you decided, do you know what? I am a really good-looking guy. I'm going to find myself a richer, older guy who's going to take care of me, and I'm getting into this relationship for the financial security. But there's no love there, and you're using that person. So it's not good for you because you're settling for something which really is a betrayal. You're settling. And it's not fair on the other person because they think it's something genuine and you're using them for a certain, for financial security, for instance. So that situation is going to be, after a while, it's going to start to feel intolerable for both parties. But sticking in it is something that can continue for a decade. I mean, those kind of situations can go on and on and on and on, and people can become codependent and manipulate each other in all sorts of ways. This full moon is the kind of strength and energy and knife that you can use to cut right through all the complications and the red tape of the situation you're stuck in, and it can just go, poof, I'm throwing all of that up in the air and I'm moving on. I'm going elsewhere. I'm out of here. So this is the liberation moon. This is the moon, the full moon of independence. This is the full moon of radical change, the full moon of freedom, personal freedom. Amazing. Now, the full moon also forms loads of relationships with some of these other things, so that adds even more power to it. So you'll see, first of all, this little triangle that forms with the moon. You see it sextiling the Libra ascendant, and then the ascendant trines the South Node and Mars, and then they sextile the moon in Sag again. There's no real word for these kind of triangles in astrology. I call that a triangle of harmony because all the aspects are harmonious. So I've come up with that. I don't know if anyone else calls them differently. But that it causes real... What that helps you, that triangle of harmony really brings home to you that people like you, that you're not just meant to be stuck in one situation, that you do have the power to change and to change your relationships, that you have what it takes to inform other people and to use your intellect, you're intelligent, and you feel driven to use your own mind and your own clarity to buy your freedom, so to speak. So it's about doing something that you really like and care about and that pays you, which means that you don't have to make decisions with other people that are based on material things. So this liberation moon, it frees you in the sense that it shows you what your life purpose is. You go get the qualifications, you start working, you have an income, you're independent. When you're independent, you don't have to even entertain relationships that are based on money or the other guy being extremely handsome so you feel like he's an accessory or whatever. Because you're independent, you can really look for your soulmate and be authentic in your search for connection. I think people evolve as they get older, and I think a lot of young people don't take relationships that seriously and find them disposable and get into them for all sorts of different wrong reasons. And as you get older, and once you've made a couple of mistakes like that, you'll look back on them and you'll say, I'm not going to get myself in that kind of situation again. That also forms that triangle of harmony. It's attached to a grand trine, which is that big blue triangle in the center of the chart, which makes this a kite. A grand trine is an area of talent, so it connects the Libra rising with the Gemini sun and Mars in Aquarius. And the talent is that you have an amazing ability to communicate very well, to be articulate, to be eloquent, to feel driven to teach something or to express something that's going to be of service to humanity. And you do that in a way that's really likable, that people can relate to and engage with. The moon in Sag at the very tip of this is like the cherry on the cake, because what you're able to do is communicate, but the cherry on the cake is you're gonna go and explore something and have fun and experience something that you can then relay to other people because you've experienced it today here during this full moon. You've broken free, you've done something that is totally up your own alley. You're really doing something that fills you with excitement. And because of that, it's a breakthrough moment which really either changes your perspective on your existing life and you say, I don't need to be stuck in this situation anymore. I'm much bigger than that. I now see things clearly. Aha. You know, we do have these aha moments. I lived in Manchester for 8 years, and then it was, aha, I need to move south. It was just inevitable. There was no questioning about it. Sometimes it's just like, ding, okay, I have to do it. So breaking free, being liberated, flying off like a kite into the sky is something that you're able to do today. Now we've got another kite in this chart. It connects, first of all, it's another grand trine, so another area of talent. So we've got Mars connecting with the Gemini. No, that's the grand trine I've already mentioned. The other grand trine is in water. It connects Jupiter in Scorpio, Neptune in Pisces, and Venus and the midheaven in Cancer. So if you follow your dreams, especially in work, my dear listener, I really want to get this home to you, okay? If you're frustrated in your life, if you hate your relationship or your job, and you have a dream of what those things could look like, today, if you listen to those feelings and you act, you make a new beginning, Venus in Cancer next to the midheaven, work, you can liberate yourself from those situations. So we're looking at freedom in work, freedom in relationships, freedom in all areas of your life. Anything that feels stuck and where you have a dream that could replace that, embrace the dream today and start making it happen on top of what you've already got. So if you've got a job that's super, super soul destroying and you can't believe you've been there for 18 years because you only enjoyed the first year and you hated the last 17 years, but you needed the income, look at what dream you have in terms of your work. And let's say it's doing massages. And you do the job that you already have been doing and you start doing massages on the side. And that is then taking a step in the right direction because you'll start to make an income, and then you can decide whether you go part-time or whether you leave the day job behind altogether. It gives you option, it gives you freedom. When Venus is in retrograde, astrologers tell people not to start new businesses because it's not a great time to create something, to begin something new. Well, Venus isn't in retrograde. It's sitting on the midheaven work at 11 degrees, the master number of service. So if you start something, if you break free, you're going to help people through the actual work that you're doing, or by being this free person and being an example and giving off this energy which inspires others, that you don't have to tolerate a relationship that's loveless, or you don't have to tolerate a job which is totally unfulfilling. You know, other people pay attention to that and see how other people live their lives. And they look at that and say, maybe I should try and do something different about my life. Now, this trine is not a kite. So we have one kite in the chart. And we also have a mystic rectangle in the chart. Yikes. So this is an amazing, powerful, life-changing full moon. Okay? We've got 2 grand trines. So 1 grand trine is major talent. So emotionally, you're so connected. Intellectually, you're sharp as a knife. Heart and mind are combined in one. You're able to make decisions. You're able to live your best life, to make changes, and to break free. One of those grand trines then is a kite, which is a breakthrough gift, i.e. the freedom. And then the mystic rectangle is something that takes contradictory energy in the chart and it combines it in such a way that you can have an almost mystical talent for something. So it connects the North Node in Leo at 9 degrees with the Sun in Sagittarius at 8 degrees, so that's fire. Then that sextiles the South Node in Aquarius and the Sun in Gemini. So it's fire and air. If you think about fire and air in the real world, you add air to a fire, it gets bigger. If you heat up air enough, it starts shimmering and it becomes distorted and all of those things. So they work together. And what you're able to do is take your ideas and run with them and find a way to implement your personal ideas for freedom on this day, and you'll be achieving part of your soul mission, which is to do something that you really care about in an independent way. We also have a yod in the chart. A yod is known as the finger of God. So this has been especially selected today for people who are stuck in their lives and want to become unstuck. The yod connects the North Node in Leo with the Sun in Gemini and Saturn, which is on the IC. The IC is the angle which represents roots, your family, your background, your history, your foundations. Saturn is sitting on that IC. So the foundation planet is sitting on your foundations, on your roots. And that's what we're talking about. Your circumstances, which may be fabulous or may be dire. If your situation is dire, the yod combines your intellect, your Sun in Gemini, so this amazing, powerful person, you can rely on yourself as your own security because you're intelligent, you're being inspired, and you have a way to articulate what you want and put yourself in the spotlight. And that is what's going to shake up the foundation and the roots of your life. And it's about speaking your truth and not making yourself smaller, but saying, this is who I am, and this is what I stand for. And in a relationship, it can be like, I don't love you anymore. That's the reality. Or in a job situation, I don't want to do this work anymore. I have something much more important that I want to work on. So it's about putting yourself into the limelight, not in the sense of, oh, I'm in the limelight, I want applause and attention. It's about putting yourself first. And it's almost like imagining yourself in the limelight and seeing yourself there up on stage alone and saying, what is this person about? And honoring yourself and saying, okay, this person exists, not just to follow the will of other people, not just to do as they're told, but to express and to use the intellectual capacity to either figure out a way out of your situation that doesn't work for you, or using your intellect and your mind to find better work or to find a better circumstances which gives you freedom and which allows you to change and move forward in your life in a way that feels better than where you are now. There's nothing worse than feeling stagnant and feeling like you can never escape from the situation. It takes, if you're doing it by yourself, you have to dig so deep in your emotional resources to rip yourself out of that situation, especially if the other person is manipulating you and trying to keep you there. You have to rip yourself out, and sometimes we just don't have the strength to do that. This full moon, the liberation moon, gives you that strength. It'll allow you to just break free. The full moon also forms a semi-square with Pluto in Capricorn at 20 degrees. 1 and 2 is a relationship. Pluto is the planet of change, transformation, and Capricorn is Earth. So your moon and your desire to move forward is going to make changes to your practical life and especially to your relationships. I've mentioned the trine with the North Node. That's part of the mystic rectangle. It opposes the sun. That's why it's a full moon. There is a trine to Chiron in Aries. Chiron is the wounded healer. It's the part of the chart that's most difficult until you transform it to become a great strength. And Chiron is currently very wounded in your 6th house. And it's saying, if you don't take the initiative and if you don't make yourself more independent when it comes to your work or your career, and you actually show up as your own individual and you stop conforming or making yourself smaller to fit in, that's when you heal your day-to-day routine, and that's when you can realize your hopes and dreams. So this is a really significant thing which wants you to heal the wounds of what's been going on by helping you escape into a more positive situation. There's also a sextile with the Libra rising, which I've mentioned, which is that triangle of harmony. Okay, so that's what I get for this moon. I mean, it's nothing, this is not light. I mean, the energy is light and fun and positive, but this is not something to take lightly, because this is a huge life-changing liberating Sagittarius full moon, which can take anyone who feels like they're stagnating in their life, give them fresh hope, give them motivation and drive and energy to really push through the obstacles so they can free themselves, start fresh, and really start on their own terms, doing something that they care about, that you care about, without feeling the pressure and without doing as you're told. So this is about self-actualization and becoming the person that you want to be. So that's what I get for you in this full moon. It's a lovely event. And, it's so nice that the universe gives us these presents for free. We have a full moon every month. Every month we have something like this happening, which really enables us to make changes in our lives, and we just get it free of charge. There you go. Have a Sagittarius full moon. Isn't that nice? So people who are stuck in life, have the opportunity to break free. Awesome. So this is the full moon. I hope you make the most of it. Let me know if you're in a situation that you are able to escape from, or that you've now had the courage to leave in the comments. I'd love to see stories of people using this energy to their advantage. If you would like a private reading with me, I do personal readings using astrology, tarot, and numerology, and I combine them all. The way I combine the numbers here in this reading with the astrology, that's numerology and tarot combined, and I combine all three in the personal readings. So to do a personal reading for you, I just need your date of birth, place of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, I can use sunrise, or I can rectify the chart. That's a process where I work out what time you were born. If you're interested in that, email me at readings@gregoryscott.co.uk, not .com, co.uk, if you want to have the chart rectified. And once I have your chart drawn up, it's a blueprint of your soul. It shows me where you've been in the past lifetimes, what your life purpose is this time around, so why you've come back and what you want to achieve. It shows me vocationally what you're gifted at, what you're destined to experience in love and health and travel and moving and family. And it also shows me what's coming up in those areas. If you have any questions like when will I get married, or when will I meet the right person, when our finance is going to improve, I can answer those kind of questions as well. So if you're interested in that, visit the website, gregoryscott.com, click on the book your reading button on the front page, or the readings tab to order your reading. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you do have a moment to click on subscribe, if you enjoyed this video, if this is the first of my videos or the second that you've watched, and you haven't subscribed and you like the video, then please subscribe. It would help me ever so much. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll speak to you soon.